Okay, so here it is, reef tank update. It's been about 6 months, and sorry I couldn't make any videos, but I run my own business and I'm slammed busy. But here it is, as you can see, it's turned from a budget reef tank to an expensive reef tank, just like I thought. But I mean, gradually over time, it is a hobby, and this is what's going to happen. I am overloaded with corals, and everything's doing good right now. I had some issues, like always, with phosphate. Always phosphate. The rock I got from a buddy of mine, it wasn't a barrel of just regular water, and it probably leached out phosphate. But everything's under control. I also have this sand, which is not that fine, nice white sand. I think it's like the aragonite pink or pink sand. I forgot what they call it, but I had algae growing out of the sand, which I haven't seen before, and I know it wasn't the bacteria, cyanobacteria. It was straight up like hair algae coming out of it. You couldn't siphon it up. It was like just growing like roots into the sand. Right now it's cleared up, and also maybe the phosphate was coming out of the sand because I noticed I only had algae growing at the base of the rocks, and right now the only algae left is this part here. It's just hanging in there, which I don't mind. Kind of adds a little bit of contrast to the tank. So far, equipment, I have the Prime Light, the eShop's PSK 75 protein skimmer, and an innovative marine desktop reactor. And I had PhosGuard in there, and that stuff was doing okay, and with a HANA checker it was dropping the levels of phosphate down, but just not enough. And then started doing some research. I found Rowaphos. If you can see it, it's like GFO, but it's real fine, like sand, or maybe like high capacity bulk reef supply GFO. But it's like sand almost, and if you're not careful, it slips right through this reactor. And I have this reactor inside the tank right now because I just like to keep an eye on it. If you're not careful with it, it moves. It will increase its flow on its own because this part right here, you spin it and it increases or lowers the flow, and sometimes the vibration of the skimmer reactor itself will start turning the inner cylinder and start increasing the flow on itself. So I just keep it in here, just keep an eye on it, but usually I don't ever have problems. It will fit in this back chamber here, in the tiniest back chamber. That's how good of a footprint this little reactor has, which I probably, if this breaks, I'll just get another one of these. I mean, it's good for, I guess, probably up to like a 50-gallon tank. But yeah, I still have the canister filter hooked up to it. The only thing in the canister filter is those matrix rocks, those sea-chem matrix kind of rocks, and that's about it. I don't have any filter pads in there. I don't want anything getting trapped in it. Any particles getting trapped in there a lot. When I clean it out, I rinse the rocks with some RO water real quick, put everything back in, clear it out, but I usually only do that every 2 months. I don't know what else. Everything else is okay. I have carbon. I run it into the back chamber. Like, I have a bag back here. Just all you really need is for it to be somewhere where it's passing water. And back here in this spot, I put some filter floss, and there's a sponge, foam sponge. I cut it into a square and I wrapped the filter floss around it, and then I put it, kind of like just wedge it in there, and it holds in there and it cleans the hell out of the water, polishes it. No need for a rack or anything. And also keeps, the water nice and clear. Anything that goes through that canister filter is pretty much clean water already, at least polished, filtered mechanically pretty well. So not a lot of stuff gets trapped in there. Hope I don't drop my phone in here, but here's my anemone. He's probably tripled in size since I got it. I have 5 fish right now. Everything's doing okay. I've originally, it's always been about 4 fish in here for at least 4 months. I just got this yellow wrasse. I always wanted one of those. He's doing great. No fish have died. I had different fish in the beginning, but I've taken them out and traded them. One fish, a 6-line wrasse, jumped into the back compartments, and I got him out. And I figured since I had him, I took him back, trade him for something else, because that's what I like to do, get different things. But I haven't traded any of these fish for about 4 months. I think they're all buddies. They love each other real good, so no need to disturb them. But yeah, somebody complained about the silicone. Said they used the silicone GE type 1, I believe I made the video about. And I don't know what happened in their video, in their tank, but I didn't lose any fish to any of that silicone for any reason. The tank's held up strong, no leaks, no nothing. I mean, here it is, same tank, same everything, 6 months later. Coral, everything. I mean, you can see it. It's doing all good. It's got craziness going on. Sorry, I don't know what happened in that person's tank. I don't know if you let it cure long enough or not. There's not enough details to tell why it happened. And sorry for your fish loss, but really not my fault. But other than that, I think I overdid it on the coral. But it's looking pretty good. Maybe a few little coral battles here and there, but nothing really pissed off. This torch coral is real finicky, this like ultra green one. Some days it's happy, some days it's not. Today's doing okay. I'd say it's about medium happy. Some days it's not happy, but most of the time it's pretty much medium happy. Coral everywhere, fish everywhere, tank hanging in there. Rowaphos is killing it. Protein skimmer's doing it. Oh, I also use nopox. And beware, if you're gonna use it, don't blame me if your fish die, because that stuff, it sucks oxygen out of the water, and you should probably have some hardy fish before you add it, or at least, put a fraction of the dose they recommend at first. But that stuff cleans the water real well. I'm pretty much contribute this nice tank to the nopox, the Rowaphos, and the skimmer. Those 3 combined, I think they should do it for you. And if they don't do it for you, you have a major problem somewhere else in the tank. But like I said, nopox will suck the oxygen out of the water, and those fish will be gasping for air if you don't have a protein skimmer. And you need a protein skimmer, because basically what I notice is the nopox, when you put it in, it helps the skimmer. I don't know, the consistency of the foam, it starts changing after I put the nopox in there, where it looks like it just helped it filter out those particles way better at a faster pace. This filled up, that's about a day and a half, and it's filled up that much. Clean that out of the water. Pretty much every 2-3 days I empty that cup out. It's not dark, but I like to skim it light to get as much out as fast as I can, and it keeps everything happy. And a Jabo power head alternating wave maker. I don't know if I think that's it. But here it is, the update. I don't know if I'll make another video soon. Unless you guys have questions or comments, or you want me to video something else, I will. But until then, this is it. I might switch tanks, and later down the road I have a new tank. I have a rimless deep blue, a little bit bigger than this, and it has a sump. I'm going to try the sump system. I've never done that before, but I'm not sure when I'm going to move it over, because this thing is looking good right now and I really don't want to touch it. But the tank does have to move because I am moving out of here. No set date yet, but it's going to happen. That's it. Questions, comments, put them down there. I'll try to get back to you. Thanks.